We have been dominated by feminism through the television, through everything, all the way from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way into the 2000s until we come out with YouTube and social media. Men were finally able to speak, and it didn't come right away. I'm not sure who started it. Men going their own way. MGTOW was one, I was another. The only thing that I can claim for certain is that my channel was definitely an original. I was brutally honest about myself, brutally honest about my experience, brutally honest about women. And you don't see men, and I'm not here to pick on people, but men who do talk about what's wrong with Western women and women in American society, they're not going to talk about themselves. They're not going to talk about them flaws. They're not going to open the door to their own humanity. And I've done that. So I was a maverick. I was a pioneer in that, because Americans are not taught to be vulnerable. They're taught to be the Marlboro Man or the Lone Ranger, Top Gun, and the Terminator, and the whole machismo concept of don't show your flaws. And that's why most of the marriages end in divorce in America, because we're taught to play a fake act game. Be careful you don't fart. Be careful you don't burp. Women, shave your underarms. Make sure you look your best. Nobody pictures her the next morning with the hair looking like bedhead, the stubble under her arms, that breath that almost knocks you out of your chair 10 feet across the table. And you go, oh my gosh, did I just sign a bad bill of goods? You sure did. And that goes for women too. They marry their Prince Charming and find out not only is he not Prince Charming, but he's a bad dude. So fair's fair, says the hair. Both sides have their problems. But I've said this before. I've beaten this horse beyond. Young ladies, underage, my age, Mary Burke, Prettiest Kitty Cat, Luann, all these chicks are getting on Reels and TikTok and Instagram. And I say this, how many times can I do a different pose in my clean shaven underarm? Let's do the left. Let's do the right. Let's do the tongue. Let's do this. These women are so in love with themselves. It's almost like they're having a worship moment. And we men, that is where we are bad. Some of us don't drink, some of us don't do drugs, but we all, 99.9% of men, have a problem with noting beauty, lusting, and it's literally put in our face. You don't need to go to a titty bar. You don't need to go to a strip club. You don't need to rent a prostitute. You can just sit in your home and you can spank your monkey and have the penis Olympics and the penis circus going 24/7. My question to these young ladies doing this, what are they trying to gain from this? People think, well, Mike, they're making money. Are they? How many men are going to pay when they can go from channel to channel to channel to channel? You got young ladies where they have a nipple slip and then they do that. You can call it porn, soft porn, whatever you want to call it. Ironically, Facebook and TikTok and all that is allowing it. Underage girls showing provocative hardware, their tits. And what is interesting is they're all the same. Every single one of these young ladies thinks they're the only one that's sexy. Putting out video after video after video, spending hours awake at night, hours all day, beautiful pictures of background, middle class, expensive homes. And you're just like, oh my gosh, what do these people do for a living? Who knows? And they have no intention of dating you or me or thee or she. They just want to monopolize your eyes and your attention. The adrenal hormone rush of another like, another heart, and another dumb comment by men that try to sound like they're being classy. Oh, you're so beautiful. I love your videos. Translation. Oh, these women have no substance at all. They're porn queens. They're eye candy. And there's cargo shiploads of them from the Philippines to Japan to Thailand to America to every bedroom, every basement, and every attic in America. Where the hell is mom and dad on these underage women, girls? You got videos where there's young ladies where dad's taking video of her, no bra, side boob, mom's standing right there smiling. Like, wow, the whole family's involved in promoting this. Facebook doesn't censor it. But Facebook will censor you if you say that Haitians are eating CATS. Did you see the video they put out? The liberals are trying to make fun of Trump. And they have these fake blonde hair dyed teenage twat girls doing these dumb videos going, eat the cat, eat the dog. But now that's actually worked against the liberals. Now people think it's funny. People are donating to animal shelters in the shiploads. And all it's doing is getting more attention for Trump on a positive level. You would think that the PETA and the animal interest people would be appalled. But, our fake news said, oh, that's not really happening. Well, go to Springfield, Ohio and tell me that, please. Journalists are activists. They're not journalists. America's been good at that for a long time. We don't call it a used car. It's called a Prio. We don't call abortion murder. We call it choice. And journalists are activists, and they call themselves journalists. And Democrats call America a democracy when it's actually a republic. And young ladies don't have the mental wherewithal to realize the only thing you got going for you is sex appeal. Nothing else. You're being used by men that fantasize over the possibilities. Young ladies aren't being groomed to be married and to be housewives. They're being groomed by themselves and by social media to be slut teases and keep this insanity going of tempting but cock blocking males. Nice job, older ladies, for handing that stupid self-centered baton to them. Social media is very destructive. It's destructive to all of us. It's destructive to every single one of us. And people would argue with me, oh, it isn't. No, it isn't. Okay, whatever. Be self-righteous. Play your game. Social media has changed things. People feel comfortable smarting and sassing off and making dumb comments on their phone, on their computer, because there's nobody there to punch them in the face for the inappropriate things they do and say on the internet. And you can feel like a badass for spewing your sputum and your diarrhea everywhere, and there's no consequence for it. Except when I and you and everybody in the world stands before God and has to give an account for that. But the young ladies that show themselves and are provocative in their dance, young ladies showing themselves looking like they're on somebody having sex. It's provocative. What do they hope to gain? We've got a country, and I've said this for years, it's going down the drain. But young ladies are being groomed today to put their sexual prowess out there. They're encouraging young ladies for developing budding breasts to not wear bras and to jump around and dance around and they're becoming shocked and addicted to the number of views and comments they get. And American women would be quick to say, oh, men are pigs, men are perverts. Hold up. American women are looking at it too. Some of them are getting very wet looking at it. Lesbian, there's not just some isolated pocket. There's been studies done that women, when they hit their 40s, are very sexually fluid and they're very open to that. I know married couples that have told me that they've played with another woman. Sometimes he just likes to watch that woman do his wife. And women get very, very aroused at other women, eating them, licking them, right? The church will not talk about this. They slam the LGBT. And most people in the congregation, at least by all appearances, they're overweight, got an overweight wife and bratty acting kids. And I don't think any one of them are thinking about having same sex. Or they're speaking to 80-year-old senior citizens that the thrill is gone. But then there's the rest of us. What is there for us? What is there for us to be able to go to? Many of us cannot get a decent date. Legally, you're not even allowed to entertain the thought of dating somebody younger. But the younger are putting themselves out there like they're grown women and trying to stumble men. Facebook isn't stopping any of it. Why is that? Just a few years ago, I'd post pictures of grown women with a bra on, but the nipples would poke through. I was jailed for that. I had Facebook shut down for that. And I've noticed something about Facebook. They don't want me to be interested in women. They want me to be interested in being trans or into men. But now they're letting all these children come on there with their version of soft porn, and they're not stopping this stuff. Why is that? It's a damn good question, and nobody seems to have an answer for it. I've said it before to Epstein, and the Democrats love the idea of underage scintillating follies. They condone it. Most of this attitude by today's teenagers goes hand in glove with the Democrats, not Republicans. Dressed like slut teases, rude, thinking they're all out on a stick, can't say please and thank you, can't respect anybody, and think that what they're into is cool when actually it's juvenile, stupid, immature, and, well, retarded. But you can't tell a teen girl that because her brain is locked in stupid. And now they get on TikTok. Oh my God, look at everybody looking at me. If she was able to see the age range, it would shock her. 70-year-old men with a big old hairy stomach and chest, balding, going, oh yeah, Kool-Aid. To even some muscle-bound stud in the gym, to even respected businessmen, to even Christians and pastors and people you respect on Sunday morning at church that are locked into a shitty, boring, lifeless, passionless marriage to a wife who wants to collect Pier 1 shit or crippy crap from Ross, and the thrill is gone. Let's be honest. Most men, if they're honest, would desire somebody young, nubile. Why? Just the way we're wired. Muhammad took an 8-year-old girl to be his wife. The Democrats never say anything about that. Never. But let me, as a white guy, take an 8-year-old girl to be my wife. Oh man, sex offender. I'm done, baby. I'm done. But Michael Jackson slept with Colin McCulkin at 12 years old in his bed. Now, that isn't just boys having a sleepover. This is, and Colin McCulkin won't talk. He won't talk at all. Everybody put Michael Jackson on such star status, his funeral seemed to go on for 2 months. If you notice, it's okay for immigrants to come over and eat ducks in the park and steal cats and dogs. And the liberals want to scream and yell at Trump and fact check him, even though they failed to fact check the fact that this came out of a local media in a local place where the shit actually happened. The media is not talking about, the liberal media is not talking about the explosion of young underage women showing titties, nipples, areolas. I mean, tight fitting stuff with their pants halfway unzipped, doing like a cabaret show. And people can sit at home and watch this and imbibe in one of their longtime pleasures. Oh my gosh. The movie 10, or excuse me, not 10, but Pretty Baby. Brooke Shields at 10 years old. Go look for pictures of her. The internet has banned them all. Now you can watch 10-year-old girls that are letting top slip and giving you a nipple peek and all that, and they're not banned. The dichotomy of the internet world is interesting. Brooke Shields, I read a thing. She has no regrets. Doing that, Brooke Shields was hot at 10. She's hot for years. She's my age. And what's funny in society, that movie came out. It was on the screen. Blue Lagoon, all that. She was underage in both of those. Now all of a sudden it's wrong. And I've said this before, that our society has not done young ladies a favor. They dumbed them down, made them immature, made them spoiled brats, called them princesses, put them in their bedroom, gave them phones, bought them everything they wanted. And instead of programming them to love a man, to be a homemaker and love their husbands, now you got all these little temptresses out there that have nothing to do. They don't do any chores. They probably don't get good grades. But hey, you can watch hours of endless sexual teasing. And I talk about it because it is a problem. And people need to do something about it. Our politicians aren't. Conservatives are talking about the harmful effects of the internet. But be careful, lest we throw stones at glass houses. Many men that will complain about the harmful effects of the internet are also, when they get home and turn off the lights and go into their basements, when their wives are asleep upstairs, are going, "Ooh, look at this." Folks, we all struggle with sin. Don't kid yourself. And before you take the moral high ground, I would never look at anybody. If they're in your face showing it, oh yeah, I think some of you are going to look. So what can be done? Well, Facebook should be shutting this shit down. But I think there's another problem. We've stigmatized things so bad. Was sleeping with a 12-year-old white boy, nobody cared. But if any of you watching or me are caught with a 12-year-old girl, our life is done. How come Michael Jackson wasn't arrested? How come he wasn't charged with pedophilia? Folks, teen girls are provocative. I've worked with youth and I've had underage girls come on to me and on and on. I did not entertain it, but it was there. And this stuff is not good for men. You got a case in Australia a few years ago where a mother was fucking her daughter. And the neighbor just happened to see an open curtain and saw it and called the police. It went to court, and the young daughter stood up and said, "But I like it. I want it." And what you have now is mutual consent going on. Young ladies want an older man to feel them and touch them and love on them. It's against the law. There was a story years ago of a 18, 19-year-old girl that got involved with a much younger one. She had a crush on her in high school, but she didn't actually have sex with her until she was an adult. We never heard if she was charged. But let a man have an interest in a younger lady, underage, and he's done. Sex offender, pervert. And all the white women will scream, "Oh, he's a pervert. He needs to tell everybody where he moves." What about the women that are molesting their daughters? What about the women that are looking at young ladies with lust in their eyes? You think that ain't going on? Shit. You hear the story every so often of a Hispanic teacher in Denver that was allowing boys from his class to come over and get in the hot tub and then touching them all on the pee-pee. He went down in flames. But what about the women that are getting fresh with young ladies? We don't hear about that, do we? It's almost like society allows certain things. California, I had read something. They didn't want older men for being punished for having physical relationships with young men, opening the door to encourage homosexuality between a minor and an adult. And I have a friend who believes we're being engineered. And I've doubted that over the years. But when you see stuff like that, you got to ask yourself a question. Maybe we are. We already know that Caucasian males, our race is in danger. We don't have the birth rates anymore. One, we've been conditioned by society. Do not get a woman pregnant. She leaves you, you're stuck with child support. And raising a child today in America is dangerous. It's hard to believe that that little seed that come out of your ding-dong, boys, could rebel and hate you and make your life a living hell. I'm almost 60. Why would I want a child now? You can't spank them. You can't do anything. And if they want to tear up your house and tear up your life, there's not a damn fucking thing you can do about it in this good old USA. Men are encouraged to look at porn. Men are encouraged to look at same sex. Men are encouraged to have bromances. They are not encouraged to find and marry a woman and a woman love him and her and love each other. That is not encouraged in our society. LGBT is shoved in our faces. Now the next level is having underage women flaunt their developing bodies into the faces of grown adults every day, flooding social media. This video should go viral. We're human beings and nobody's above being tempted. Where's the mothers? Where's the fathers of these young ladies saying, "What the hell are you doing in your bedroom? No bra? And you got all this shit going on?" Where's the parents? You need to take those daughters and give them chores and make them tired by the end of the day, because obviously you got too much time on our hands. And all these young women are going, "Man, I don't have to do anything but shake my tatas and I can get a free ride." And a man got a headache when he marries that girl. He's got a mess on his hands. Mary Burke is a 50s, maybe 60. I don't know if she has implants, but she's got some pretty big knockers and likes to wear overalls with no bra, no shirt underneath, and show you how to do plumbing, gardening, and petting her dog and silly, dumb stuff. And she is watched because men like to see the side view and the down blouse of her tits. And I did a video on her. And of course, that got a lot of views because everybody likes Mary Burke. And I'm sure Mary Burke has seen it. Mary Burke is a grown woman. She's not interested in marrying anybody or settling down. She just likes to slut tease millions and millions of men. And she's comfortable with that. Do women have a conscience? I don't think they do, honestly. I don't think that they do. If they do, it doesn't show. I remember when I used to go to the rec center in Colorado, I had several female friends and guy friends. There were women that would have me rub their neck and shoulders. Some of them were attractive. There was a Thai woman that used to come in there. She was married. She had breast implants, but she was 67 when I was there, and she was smoking hot. No wrinkles on her at all. And I was sitting on the floor of the sauna on the wooden mat. She plopped herself right between my legs and dropped the sides of her swimsuit. She goes, "I need you to massage me." I mean, it took my breath away. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I did. And she goes, "Can you get right here down the side?" And man, my hands wanted to go around. I didn't. And she would tell me, "My husband leave me. I choose you." I said, "Shit, your husband leave you. I choose you." "Michael, why are you massaging a married woman?" She asked me to. And people will look at me and say, "Wow, Pacific has no moral rectitude. He's a Christian. Look at this. Look at this." And the people saying that don't have their life together either. Anybody remember all the trolls that came out when I was honest about my manhood? Nameless, faceless people attacking. Why do people do that? I can understand if somebody's playing a game and playing hypocrites, judging everybody for doing all these sins, but not judging themselves. I believe I judged myself. But I've had to learn the hard way. When you speak the truth, it will offend people so bad that they will come after you. Why do you think there's been 2 attempts assassination? Did you hear the liberal bullshit media? Well, it's because it's Trump's rhetoric. No, fuckheads. It's because of you, your hatred, calling him Hitler. And of course, you have set the stage for people to say, "We got to get rid of this Hitler." No, the liberals have created the hate environment. They're bullies. The ABC debates was the 2 moderators were bullies. Pro Kamala, not journalistic, not professional, bullies. And what's sad about the media is it just like a bulldozer just keeps going on, smashing everything. And there's no accountability. You can't sue them. You can't bring them to court. You can't fire them. They can lie. They can misrepresent. Most of this nation has no clue what is really going on. But Americans, all of us are being affected by social media. Our kids, they have no interest in God. They've got an obsession with themselves, their self-importance. They can't do chores. They can't do anything. But they can put on top after pants, after shorts, after cutesy little Daisy Dukes and bop around and jump around all day long. And grown men that can't get a girlfriend, "Oh, wow, you're pretty, you're cute." Yeah, dude, you think you're going to be able to get her? No. I know for a fact, if I had a daughter We telling her, you are not getting on that shit. And if I catch you, I'll take a sledgehammer to your phone. As a grown man, just because you're older doesn't mean you discriminate against lust and what your eyes see biologically. And that's why women who pursue feminism, dogs, SUVs, Starbucks, and their sick, neurotic, self-serving culture fail at their primary God-given objective that God directed them to: raising children, teaching them the values, teaching young ladies, look, you're growing breasts. Men like to see those. Don't do that. Those are for your husband someday. They're not teaching them that. America has sold out. Young ladies are leaving nothing for the imagination anymore. Violence is getting worse. It's interesting to note that in Revelation it says all these judgments came, and yet they did not repent of their idolatries, sexual immoralities, and their sorceries. Sorceries is where we get the Greek word pharmakia. Many scholars believe that's talking about drug use, legalizing marijuana, all the alcoholism, opioids, Oxycontin, overdosing, the sexual immorality. Why is that increasing? Because you go to a job in the US, you have no value anymore. You can't go to a job and work 20, 25 years and get a nice retirement anymore. Hell, you got to pay out of pocket for health insurance when companies used to just give it to you. You get in your car and people don't even respect you. They got to be an idiot around you and drive unsafe and endanger you. And so all of us go back to whatever our comfort zone is. For some, it's drinking. For some, it's smoking dope. Some, it's their cigarettes, their scratch cards, their addiction to the Hallmark Channel, their doggies, lust, porn, and masturbation. Whatever it is, we all have that binky that we put in our mouth to succor us. But when you have young ladies fanning the flames of lust, and the big boys of social media, Mark Zuckerberg and his little Facebook staff, aren't doing anything to stop it, you got to ask yourself a question: why are they not stopping this? They could do it very easily. We're shutting down Reels. They're out of control. We're not allowing them. You can do a video, but you cannot do Reels. No more TikToks. It is a crazy world in which we live. Dibba dabba dibba dabba scoobity doo. So we can turn this all the way down. See that? This one's titled My Hot Wife. No shirt on, laying face down, some young lady. How old is that one? See if we can get it to show. That's all over Facebook, folks. This young lady is Pamela, young Hispanic gal, wearing bras, negligees, provocative stuff, not an adult. And I mean, there's tons of this stuff. See, and I used to post stuff like this. This was art. I used to get banned. That's actually a painting of a woman. But they're not banning underage girls being little porn queens. See if we can find. See this? No bra, nipples, areolas. She's really not that pretty. She's a plain Jane, but everything is focused on what's showing loudly through the shirt. This is called Lara buns. Provocative poses by youngsters. And this is all they do 24 hours a day until somebody finally comes in and says, you need to go to bed now and turn off the music. I mean, this isn't talent, folks. Shaking your tits, showing yourself over and over and over again. And do you notice all these people subscribe to my channel, send me a friend request? They'll never thumbs up anything of yours. Never. They're not interested in thumbs upping. They're interested in being the end of the search. Raw talent there, right? She thinks, look at her face. Look at her. I'm cool. I'm hot. I'm totally awesome. These are Facebook, by the way. Google, don't censor me. Here's some young gal in Mexico. That's not dancing style. There's no talent there, but she thinks she's hot. And you got this going on in Africa. What is this? We're going to put on our pants. Or fold something. I don't know what we're doing there. This is what they're doing. No bra. Nipples evident. It's crazy, folks. And our country is getting bored with itself. The young children today are not being taught right. A 14-year-old in the Atlanta area a week ago shot and killed two kids, two teachers. He's going to be tried as an adult. They found out daddy knew about it and wasn't doing anything to stop him. Kids want to do adult stuff. And you still have women in our American society that will condemn men, call them pigs and perverts for looking at these young ladies. But those same women won't do anything to stop the young ladies slut teasing. How do women live with their double standard? Where are the women in this country standing up against that? Where are they? Where's Kamala? Where's AOC? Where's Nancy Pelosi? You think they don't know this shit is going on? Where is their outrage? How come they're not standing up and saying, young ladies, because Ghislaine Maxwell, what a stupid name. She was fucking teen girls along there with Epstein, fulfilling her deepest lesbian fantasies with a nubile girl. She got arrested, but they never expected her or made her. We've all seen those crime shows where where the detective comes in and intimidates the prisoner and says, I'll tell you what, we can reduce your sentence if you cough up the names. How come they didn't do that to her? Because the Democrats and the Republicans didn't want to know who was involved. There's a possibility Bill Gates was at that island, supposedly. I mean, you look at his wife, Melinda, I don't know how you get a boner over that. And Bill Gates is no find. And you got these Democrats acting like they're morally superior when they're not. And they're silent about this. You know, there's laws against child trafficking, but when the girls do it all by themselves from their bedrooms, there's, you know, our Homeland Security can't stop it. Our government won't stop it. Facebook won't even censor it. But let me say something about spherical heating and my post will get censored. I love it when Democrats say the greatest danger facing the U.S. is spherical heating. No, the greatest danger is the onslaught against our morals. We are men, and you are tempting us, and you are putting this in our faces. And people can sit here and judge me. Oh my God, I can't believe you're saying this. Nobody should be looking at these young. Nobody should be. But these young women shouldn't be making themselves available to be looked at. Where's the parents? Where's the popo? Where's the authorities? Where is everybody? But hey, we all know about family gatherings. Haven't we been to them? You're developing tween and teen, and they come out in a bathing suit, and those nice dark areolas and those thick nipples are poking through, and she comes up and is being friendlier than usual to uncle, and uncle suddenly going, oh my gosh. Now it's paraded in front of our very eyes. And before women condemn men, you better condemn yourselves for raising your daughters to be slut teases. That is on you, not us. Men are side-oriented. Men have a biology. God made us to be attracted to women. It is possible that Mary, who housed the Lord, and I say housed because she didn't have sex and create God, was 14 years old. But what do we do with 14-year-old girls? We dumb them down. They act like spoiled little brats. They're starting to grow hair in their arms and tits, and they become attitude and spoiled and rude and disrespecting to everybody around them instead of being taught how to wash and fold clothes, how to cook, how to clean, how to do chores, and to start gearing themselves towards a life of being married. Oh, no, that's beneath them. We want them to be a career woman or a moocher. Feminism has not graduated, folks. You still got feminists out there. They want a man with six-digit figures, even though they don't have it. They want a man with a nice house, even though they don't have it. They want a man who's got it together, even though they don't. They want a man with a nice car, even though they don't. The hypocrisy of the left, the hypocrisy of women. And these young ladies on Reels and TikTok is a problem, folks. It is opening the door for the idea of men entertaining things that ought not be entertained. Where are the authorities? And you can condemn all the men for looking and liking and hearting. I always had a problem with American cities. Prostitution is illegal. And a guy stops because a girl's standing on the sidewalk, picks her up, and the guy's arrested, not the prostitute. How about if we reverse this? Go after the one that's provoking it. How about if we do that? And it's funny, young ladies, you know, our women say that they don't want to be viewed as barefoot and pregnant, okay? They don't want to be servile to men, okay? But these young ladies are putting themselves out there showing what? Sexual equipment made for pleasing men, made for sucking by an infant, and they go right back and gravitate towards their original calling. But now you have underage girls, though there's a law against that. You have underage girls being sexually provocative, and there's laws against that too, but they're not doing anything about it. And men cannot get a date today. And I'm telling you that the outflow of this in the long run is not healthy. And these moms or these dads or their guardians better start paying the fuck attention to what they're putting out there. I love how macho Christian men get. Oh, anybody looks at my daughter that way, I'm going to shoot them. But you let your daughters come to church with no bra or a low cut top. Dad, fuck you. Grow the fuck up. Tell your fucking daughter to put some clothes on and stop playing macho. Stop calling her princess. Teach her it's about modesty and propriety. And I'm sorry, a lot of men need to be told fuck off because they say and do things, and they have got no problem with all that. And you'll hear women say, "Well, I don't care. My daughter's dressed sexually appropriate. It's illegal for you to even think about it." Hey, bitch. Whether we think about it legally or not, there is nothing illegal about thinking about it. There's nothing illegal about noticing it. You just can't put your hands on it. You can't groom. But what are they doing? And what is society doing? What is Facebook? Zuckerberg should be sent to fucking prison. Zuckerberg should be arrested, subpoenaed. All of the staff in that office for allowing this should be behind bars. If I produce child porn, my life is over. I have never done that. I have no interest in that. Why is Facebook allowing this? There's laws against sex trafficking. Those laws could be applied to this. Facebook could be legally shut down because of that. So could Instagram. Instagram is where tween and teen girls are getting on there, posting millions of inappropriate pictures of themselves. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody. And why do I say anything about this? Because everybody's silent out there, which tells me everybody's enjoying it. Or some don't know about it. I'm just saying, somebody has to say something because it's a problem. Why during the tribulation when all hell's breaking loose? Why during the tribulation when all hell's breaking loose, they not repent of their sexual immoralities? Because it's exploding right now. Illicit sex, reinventing sex, couples trying couples, men trying men, women trying women, and pretty soon it'll be adults trying children. You got grown mothers playing with their developing girls, and the girls don't say anything because it's scintillating. But watch a white guy have an interesting young lady. Boom, the justice comes down. Our society's fucked up and it isn't right. And if girls were mature like they were 100, 150 years ago in this country, they could get married off at 14 and be a decent woman. But we make them babies spoiled on a cell phone. They've got sexual equipment. They're feeling it. And now they're up there being provocative because it's a turn on. Nice job, America. Nice job, parents. You fucked up. And you're creating a problem by allowing it to continue.